welcome to Optics, featured artist in the Griffin Gallery at WinCam.
My father was born in London to Indian parents, and I'd always wondered about my Indian heritage and that side of my family. Well, I wanted to capture the architecture, for one, because I knew that was there and I knew it was beautiful, and I wanted to sort of explore that as seeing the city as a place. And then I loved the way that the people, when I had asked them if I could take their picture, they had a really nice way of presenting themselves. It's very different from American selfie culture.
Yep.
And nobody like smiled. They just held themselves very dignified looking, and I found it as sort of a formality in the poses. And it was very refreshing for me because I'm used to doing more spontaneous documentary. People don't even know I'm looking at them, and very casual in the US. So it was a really nice contrast.
Have you made it a point to discuss this background with your children, to bring them up to date on their ancestral roots? Is that something that you do with your children and your family? My family never did. I can never tell you as far back further than my grandparents. So I'm wondering about you and how you bring that forward into the future.
So it's funny because I think my kids are not as interested. They're sort of interested in it, but it's really some of my other relatives and relatives in London that are more interested in the family, and my mother's interested.
Yeah.
I think some of the interest might come from age as well. My kids are, 23 and under, and so it's part of their lives. The other piece that was really amazing that my father did, which I probably never would have done this project, is he took my family, my kids, and my brother's family to India and really gave us an amazing tour and overview of the whole place. So that's really, had he not done that, then I would never have done this.
Right. I'm wondering if there's something else that I haven't asked you that you would like to get out to our audience today, or talk about something that you think that it may be of interest to them, whether it's in this body of work or in future bodies of work, or it's up to you.
Well, I think a strength of mine is that I like to explore, but that's also a weakness because I can want to, I can get bored. So I like that. So I've done this India, seeing the documentary, but I want to make it more interesting for me. So that's why I enjoy adding these other layers to it. So, and right now I'm going into this photogravure, and it's actually polymer.
Oh, good. Safe.
Gravure or something. But and so it's a little bit in printmaking. So I want to make sure that it's all, cohesive. So I think that's. I know that wasn't the question. Maybe I should just take all that out because I'm just talking about weaknesses. But I don't know that there's anything specific because I just feel like I'm always looking for something new. But it's interesting now at a midpoint in my career because now I look at things and I'm like, oh, there is a little bit of a pattern.
You know I'm retiring. I'm going to miss the photographers and I'm going to miss you.
Okay, well, Paula, this is only the beginning.
This is only the beginning.
And yes, and you've taken the Griffin to an amazing place, and it's been very supportive of community artists, which I think is really important.
And thank you for joining us for this episode of Optics, our featured artist in the Griffin Gallery at WinCam. A Place I Never Knew by photographer Tira Khan will be on display in this gallery from September 23rd to November 29th and is free and open to the public. You are a person who is filled with such exuberance. Do other people tell you that?
Yeah, they do. I think it's new for me too. Growing up, I was not like this.
Really?
I kind of found this part of myself like in my early 20s.
Mhm.
I feel like it had always been there.
Mhm.
I guess, didn't allow it to come out.
Yeah.
So
Did it surface when you found the arts? Or
I think I found the arts when I was really young, but it
Uh-huh.
wasn't until I was older that I realized like it was seriously something I wanted to pursue.
yeah.
So they kind of came in tandem together.
Yeah, well, that's so wonderful that you were able to find that outlet. It comes from a complicated past. Can you speak to that a little bit for us?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot recently, and I grew up in like a very strange Christian cult. I was very isolated from the world at a young age, and I took it really seriously. I think it's partially because you want the approval of the adults in your life, like as a small child, but also I've always been someone who searches for meaning and purpose, and so that was like what I was fed when I was younger. So I took it really seriously, and I got very deep into it. But the deeper I got into it, the more isolated I got, and the more questions I had. So as I kind of worked through those questions, mostly with art, with a lot of writing when I was younger, I kind of came out the other side of it. And this work is almost like a documentary, kind of going back and capturing and like recreating those moments and capturing them so that I can have something I can show the world and that I can see myself, because I don't think there was anyone there to really witness what I was going through when I was so small.
You want to say what you've named the show?
Yeah, this show is The Infinite Mirage of Rapture.
What is rapture?
Rapture for me is the feeling of being saved. I think when you're a child and you're growing up in a tough environment, it's really all you think about. You think about like someone coming to save you, whether there's different fantasies, whether it's a different person or it's like this religious messiah coming. But then as you grow older, I think you never expect it to be yourself. So there's a lot of meaning under that title for me, of different ways to get raptured, and also the like deep undercurrent of that word is very Revelations, very like New Testament, fearful.
Are there images that we're showing here that are your favorites? I may not have chosen your favorites because I come from a different place,
Right.
but you must have some ideas.
Oh, the fireworks one
Yeah.
is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's just a feeling that I have had and continue to have.
Yeah.
That it's so nice to get it out
Yeah.
and put it somewhere. That one's wonderful.
How did you do that shot?
We went to the fireworks.
You did?
Yeah, those was
Yeah.
taken at like just town fireworks
Yeah.
with lights.
Wow.
May have ruined the fireworks for other people, but no one said anything. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
they thought it was like
Cool.
added to the experience.
Yeah. What's next?
What's next for me? I just wrote the first draft of my first feature film. I'm not really sure where to go from here. I guess more drafts.
Yeah. You're young. You have a lot of life in you, and I think you're going to go far.
Thank
You're
you,
going to be
Paula.
a star. You are a star in my eyes, anyway. But you have that drive to succeed, and a love of what I see as a love of life.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing myself and the Griffin Museum to host your work here at WinCam. I'm sure that they are enjoying it as well.
Oh, it's an honor. Thank you
Oh,
so much for
Thank
having me.
you. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, for this edition of Optics, the featured artist in the Griffin Gallery at WinCam. The Infinite Mirage of Rapture by this photographer, Jana Cipriano, will be on display here in the gallery from now until January 31st.